Hello everyone. Welcome to the Super Metroid multi-category tournaments. Today we have triple bingo. Each player will have this bingo board with all sorts of related Super Metroid objectives, and they will need to complete these objectives and to create 3 bingos in order to win this race. So on the left we have Kishmo, which is I believe one of our German runners. Shouts to Germany. And we have Toasty on the right. Very cool guy. So most of the early game is planning your route throughout this game, or throughout this bingo board, really. The best way to play bingo is to have the best route possible, and I suppose gameplay execution comes second. So we'll see what these players go for. Sometimes in bingo boards, you may get some cards that have conflicting objectives. So sometimes you might see some bingo squares say, finish in an elevator or finish in criteria. You can't complete both of those at the same time. So players will have to keep that in mind. So on this card, we have row 1, column 5. Collect only one a Very Suit or Gravity Suit. Of course, Gravity Suit basically provides everything that Very Suit can. So, but the downside is that they'll have to cross the modes, which can be quite a challenge. I also have a question in chat. When do the runners first see the card? So right before the race starts is when the bingo card is revealed, and our players will have access to them. So there's no sort of pre-planning to begin with. They both get the card as soon as the race starts. So there's lots of on-the-fly routing. So taking a quick look at the cards again. There's one objective that says collect X-ray, scope, and skip grapple beam. So it's a one or the other type of bingo square. And in the middle, row 3, column 3, collect only one of wave beam or speed booster. And right off the bat, we see Kishmo on the left, going to the criteria map station. It looks like Toasty is opting not to go to the map station. Or he could be revisiting it later. We'll have to see. The criteria map station is a fairly simple square to fill in. But we'll really have to see what Toasty decides to do. There's also another square, row 1, column 4. Collect only one of Ice Beam or Speed Booster. That is correct. I am also doing the tracking, so I hope I can keep track of everything that's going on. There's another one. Defeat GT and Spore Spawn. Defeat Crocomire or skip High Jump Boots. Finish in a Shine Spark or Crystal Flash. So I think this is a little bit of a difficult seed in terms of that there's lots of cards that, you know, they call for one or the other item. And so you're going to have to eliminate picking up some items. But as far as the easiest squares to fill in, it's a tough call. So I have another question in chat. Destroy statue. So that means right before Torian, there is the 4 golden statues, and you have to defeat 4 bosses to break open the way to Torian. So breaking 2 statues means that you have to beat at least 2 out of the 4 bosses and visit the room itself to break open the statues, and that's what completes the objective. Looks like Toasty think about what to do. So one thing I do see is they have in common is a couple cards call for, you know, when of Wave Beam or Ice Beam or Speed Booster. So it could call for some maybe Wreck Ship first, Speed Booster play. Like Wreck Ship first to Norfair and get Speed Booster. Kishmo also thinking about what to do next. So it looks like both of our runners are going for the refill station and Brinstar, which is row 4, column 4. I'm not too sure where the other one is at. It could be at right just before Kraid. Alright, Toasty collecting Charge Beam. Charge Beam doesn't fulfill any objective, but it's a very powerful item to have. Or speaking of the beam items, collecting Speed Booster could fulfill 2 squares at once. Or alternatively, you get Ice Beam and Wave Beam to have a stronger beam combination, which might be pretty nice for some bosses. Toasty opting to skip Spacer, which technically both our runners have skipped Spacer so far. And it looks like Toasty is going to Kraid, possibly looking for that Various suit. So we'll have to see if Toasty decides to skip Gravity Suit to complete this objective of row 1, column 5. However, it looks like Kishmo is thinking about going up to Wreck Ship. Maybe? And Toasty going up to the other Brinstar missile refill, and actually using it. So he has completed row 4, column 4. And meanwhile, Kishmo is still thinking about what to do next. Yeah, I think there's a couple ways you could think about what the skip certain items mean. At least the way I see it is that they have not collected, the Spacer item. So I sort of think that counts. But either way technically works. Alright, Toasty collecting one Various Suit or Gravity Suit. So if Toasty decides to collect Gravity Suit, that will negate this objective, and this square would not be filled in on row 1, column 5. Honestly, I was really hoping I would get to see some triple bingo, because I think if I think that everybody would veto triple bingo just because it's such an unfamiliar category to run. But and I was in the same mindset too. But after playing triple bingo a few times, I've really come to really enjoy it. Okay, so it looks like Toasty is going to forego getting high jump boots. Meanwhile, Kishmo's trying to get the diagonal bomb jump. So far, it looks like Toasty might be trying to complete column 5. So we could see some Crocomire action. Let's see, looks like Kishmo is having a little bit of difficulty getting the diagonal bomb jump. Nice, okay. And one of the difficulties going Wreck Ship first is fighting Fantoon early, And that means having limited energy, and of course not having various suits. So Fantoon will deal 40 damage per hit, so it is very risky to go early on. Especially if you're not comfortable with the early Fantoon fight. Another question, has there been any specific zone ammo collections yet? So far, item collection has been somewhat general. It looks like Toasty has been collecting, or at least collected the missile before speed booster. So he might be trying to go for the plus 75 missiles objective on row 5, column 1. But sometimes having extra missiles will be good to have. Okay, got a fairly good Doppler on Kishmo's side. Slow mid. Going for a 3-round Doppler. Come on, slow mid. Nice, very nicely done. In the meantime, Toasty is going to Crockemeyer. So definitely having an eye out for row 4, column 5. Kishmo visiting the wreck ship map station. There's quite a few map station cards on this, or squares rather. Kishmo checking out that pause screen. Generally you see players do this if there is a visit or completely explore the wrecked ship map, but we don't have that square on this. So Kishmo could be thinking about where to go next. In the meantime, Toasty has completed row 4, column 5, defeat Crockemeyer and skip high jump boots. And collecting his second power bomb pack. So maybe you could see row 1 from Toasty, as well as column 5. Oh, also, Toasty has collected Speed Booster, if I saw that correctly. Or am I, was I seeing things? Oh yeah, he went down to, he got the missiles before Speed Booster, so technically he has completed 2 of these squares already. Provided that Toasty skips Ice Beam and Wave Beam. So far, this is looking like a quick bingo card here. In the meantime, Kishmo has collected Gravity Suit and at the same time foregoing Various Suit. So I can see. Okay, well, I was gonna say Toasty could defeat Bot Wound, but that would mean he would have to do Suitless Meridia. And collecting high jump boots or Gravity Suit would negate the purpose of completing column 5. So, if Toasty is familiar with high jumpless Suitless Meridia. Oh yeah, and there's also the need for Ice Beam. So it looks like Toasty is going for Ice Beam, so that would negate the collect one of Ice Beam or Speed Booster card. And Kishmo is doing an IBJ to get to Criteria Power Bombs. Or I shouldn't really mark that too soon, honestly. Uh-oh. I hope nothing has bad happened to Kishmo. Looks like he might be having a bit of dropped frames or something. Now we'll never know if Kishmo has completed the objective. And it seems I cannot switch over to Toasty's audio, so this is what we have right now. This just makes things a little complicated because Kishmo could be going for other objectives, and I won't have an idea of what has been done already. So in the meantime, Toasty. Where is Toasty going? I could see row 1, column 1. So collecting 15 Brinstar Serums is not too difficult. Oh, okay, we have Kishmo's back. And in Brinstar. So I'm going to strongly assume Kishmo has collected that power bomb from earlier. And opting not to go down to the Idakuns for the extra items. Which I kind of disagree with. But that's, of course, Kishmo has no intention of doing either row 1 or column 1. And judging by Kishmo's energy tank count, I would suspect that he did not go to Gauntlet to collect the E-Tank. Meanwhile, Toasty is going for the Itakun items. There is an E-Tank, Super Missile, and a Power Bomb. Oh, almost falling down there. Now that makes 15 Brilliant Star Super Missiles for Toasty. I don't think either player has collected 2 reserve tanks. At least so far. Toasty has missed the damage boost to Warfare reserves, so he could be coming back later, or maybe deciding to go for another energy tank, or reserve tank. And Kishmo deciding what he wants to do. Maybe... Oh man, that's a rough card if... a rough bingo square right here. Row 2, column 2. If Kishmo's going for column 2, is collect X-ray without... and skipping the grapple beam. So we'd have to do... in a glitched any % style X-ray collection, or collect space jump. Yeah, it looks like Toasty is going for spike suit. Okay, yeah, so maybe Toasty could be going for spike suit to collect X-ray. I could see that being a possibility. Oh, and he gets it! Yo, that's hype. If Toasty can collect X-ray using the spike suit, that would be really cool. And Kishmo collecting the warehouse missile pack and going down to Kraid. So could we see a Kraid kill? I would suspect there's going to be the missile refill visit, and then probably leaving. But it's really hard to tell what bingo lines they're going for. Alright, Toasty collecting X-ray while foregoing the grapple beam. Okay, so I can see a diagonal here. Top left to bottom right. That will mean that Toasty will somehow have to complete bot wound without high jump boots. So we could have some crab climbing action, but we'll have to see. I'm really interested in what Toasty might be doing. Alright, so Kishmo has collected Speed Booster, and by the looks of it, he has not collected either Ice or Wave. Earlier I saw Kishmo collecting the Kraid missiles, so I could see possibly row 3. Collects all 4 Norfer energy tanks. So we have high jump boots, E-tank. What else is there? Meanwhile, Kishima has collected his second reserve tank, and Toasty has collected the Criteria Power Bomb. Oh right, Ridley and Firefly. There's one more. Oops. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, Kishimo's 10th Power Bomb was the Criteria Power Bombs that we didn't get to see him collect. But so Toasty is going for Rex Ship, so we could see Gravity Suit being collected here. I think it could be possible, or no, I think it is possible to do Suitless Meridio with Ice Beam and no high jump boots, but it has somewhat of a specific setup, and it's not well known, but I know it exists. I didn't quite catch if Kishmo has high jump boots for the row 4 column 5 objective. I have to confirm visually if Kishimo has high jump boots or not. Okay, he doesn't have high jump boots. I am thinking that Toasty will collect Gravity Suit, just because of the defeat Botwoon objective. It sort of conflicts with what he wants to do next. Oh! Kishmo getting the triple Kojakt and unable to pass the green gate. I'll set him back a little bit. Fortunately, there's cack attacks in this room, so you'll be able to farm. Okay, he has one shot at this. Toasty, in the meantime, going through attic. Nicely done. One shot. And Kishmo think about what he wants to do next for a moment. So I know I'm missing one Norfair energy tank. Oh yeah, that's Crockemeyer. So we got Crockemeyer high jump boots, Ridley, and Fireflea. So Kishmo will have to visit Lower Norfair to complete row 3, column 1. Not positive on how many Burn Star missiles that has been collected so far. Yeah. Toasty going for the Wreck Ship reserve tank, which will be his second reserve tank. Yeah, escaping those missiles. So will Toasty skip Gravity Suit? I can't imagine he would go all this way just only to skip it. But it seems like the most likely choice. Alright. Which does unfortunately negate the row 1, column 5 square. Because he's only allowed to collect one suit. So by collecting both suits, he no longer has that bingo square filled in. And Kishmo is doing some farming, so I could see possibly defeating Botwoon. I don't see Space Jump being too likely, but then again, that's like the Space Jump tile. Row 4, column 3 is in a really good spot. At least according to what our players have done already. Yeah, right. Here, Toasty is cracking open a couple statues and completing row 4, column 1. Kishmo getting a little trolled here by that Botwoon hitbox. So yeah, I kind of do see that. If Toasty goes on to complete the top left, bottom right diagonal to defeat Botwoon, and at the same trip collect the third reserve tank and defeat Dragon, collect Space Jump, and complete in an elevator, that would be 3 bingos. Let's see, I don't see row 1 being an option for Kishmo at this point. Kishmo decided not to collect the Idikun super missiles, and only having 2 out of 11 E-tanks. So, what would be the fastest? Potentially row 3, but that would involve going to fight Ridley. Collecting all 60 Brinstar all 60 Brinstar missiles, which I'm not positive on how much has been collected so far. Oh, sorry, Kishmo has defeated Botwoon, so that fulfills row 5, column 5. Kishmo missing that Shine Spark. Sometimes the Dragon fight can get a little hairy if things go not according to plan. Using a power run to clear out all the goop. Hopefully finishing it off with supers. Not quite yet. Nicely done. And we expect Kishmo to collect Space Jump. Excuse me. And in the meantime, Toasty is on his way to Botwoon. So all that would be left for row 4 for Kishmo is to crack open 2 statues, just as Toasty has done earlier. There we have it. Toasty getting his first bingo. The top left, bottom right diagonal. And it looks like Kishmo's going for the 3 reserve tanks. Looks like going to the Meridia Sandpit. So that will clear the row 5, column 3 square. And so that would mean that Kishmo would have to finish in an elevator. I'm not sure if Toasty went down to the Meridia Sandpit as well already, or perhaps he's planning to do it after Dragon. Alright, not just yet. And looks like Kishmo's also going for the Meridia map station. I'm not positive how many missiles they have, but there's 2 finish objectives. So for row 5, there's finish in a Shine Spark or Crystal Flash, and column 3, which is finish in an elevator. So would Kishmo have to do an elevator Crystal Flash to complete both these at once? Provided he has over 75 missiles. Looks like Toasty has the blue suit. Not too sure how many Burn Star missiles that Kishmo has collected so far. But Toasty collecting Space Jump, finishing his second bingo of row 4. So only 2 tiles left. So unless Kishmo has some Galaxy Brain plays coming up. But we'll have to see. Yeah, looks like Kishmo might be going for the Billy Maze room, which has a couple of missile packs, and then another one underneath. Oh, I think Toasty might have chosen the wrong sandpit, or it could be wrong and be totally dumb. Oh no, he's right. Okay, I am just dumb. I was gonna get really worried for a second there. But Kishmo collecting both of the Billy Mace missiles. And for Toasty, that makes 3 reserve tanks. And the Norfair reserve tank is the only one remaining. So Toasty is very close to being done. How many missiles was that for Kishmo? That's 12 missile packs. And Toasty foregoing the Meridia map station. And Toasty about to enter the elevator, and that appears to be GG. I'll trust that the tracker's right. And it looks like Kishmo's coming up on GG here too. The only thing I'm not sure of is how many missiles was collected. But coming over here and cracking open 2 statues. Um, I hope I'm not missing something. Finish in an elevator? Like, let's say if Kishmo does have the required missile packs. Well, there would be a 2 bingos here. It's one of the more difficult parts about tracking bingo is keeping track of all the missile counts. Let's see. So if we count out the Brinstar missiles, we got the 3 at early supers, 3 at retro Brinstar, the Billy Mays, and then 1 below it. So that's 6. That's half so far, and then we got the big pink charge missiles, pipe missiles, the missiles behind alpha power bombs, which I believe I saw all of those. Missing 2 missile packs in my head. Oh right, that was a thing. Finish in a Shine Spark. I totally missed that. And yeah, I would say that he would have over 75 missiles. Missing the 2 Brinstar missile packs. Or yeah, what are they? But yeah, I would honestly count it because at least for the majority of that, I did see all that missile collection. Ooh, barely enough missile packs. I'm gonna say he did collect all the Brinstar missiles. That's the one thing I wish I kept a little more attention to. Yeah, that's row 4, row 5, and column 5. This is one filled out board. But yeah, GG to Toasty for finishing in first place. And this was a surprisingly close race. And GG to Kishmo as well. Yeah, unfortunately, unless we're keeping notes in our head, the map only shows where the item location is, but not if it's been collected or not, as it would in, say, Metroid Fusion. But I believe that is all the Brinstar missiles. So, while playing bingo, it is very useful to have a map open, so you know exactly where you need to go. Oh, okay. So the one missile I'm missing is the first missiles. So yeah, I definitely saw all these missiles being collected. So yeah. Oh, the 12th one is the Kraid warehouse missiles. So yeah, all 60 Brent Star missiles have definitely been collected, but I just didn't really keep track of all of it in my head. Although I did remember seeing everything being collected though. Whew, man, that was quite a tough one to at the end there. But this was a lot closer than I realized. So thank you to our runners. And yeah, I think that's about it for us today. Looks like this is the last race for today, on our Saturday evening. And so looks like tomorrow we're gonna have 2 races, at least so far. Sunday at 1 p.m. EDT, we're gonna have Richman versus a Real Cutie. And this could be a good race. And then next it's gonna be at 4 p.m. EDT with Travatox versus Tornado. So definitely tune in tomorrow if you're interested in seeing more of the Super Metroid multi-category tournament. Sponsored by Balls and Mega Cat Studios. And yeah, that'll be it for today.